Hello everybody, and welcome to another Kaldheim draft here on the channel. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you get notified when I post future videos, and leave a comment in the comment section down below with any questions or feedback. If you'd like to support my content, you can do so via the Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and by doing so, you'll gain access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet. So if you're enjoying what I'm making and want to give back to the channel, that's a great way to do so. Okie doke. So, opening it up, what have we got here? King Narfi's Betrayal. Each player mills 4 cards, then you may exile a creature or planeswalker card from each graveyard. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among cards exiled with King Narfi's Betrayal, and you may spend mana as though it were many color casts. Okay, so it's like a slow draw 2. Don't love it, but you do get to draw 2 spells. What else is there? Saw It Coming's pretty good for certain decks, not for others. I try to take cards that are really powerful or really flexible early on, I think. And that's pretty good in certain decks, but not like incredible. Narfi Betrayer King is really powerful in the snow decks. Maybe I could even wheel Snow-Covered Swamp, so that could be a consideration. I think it's certainly better than Agar, if I do want to go all out. And then in the common section, there's a Behold the Multiverse, which is good, but I'm not going to first pick that over Feed the Serpent, I don't think. I think I would rather have a Feed the Serpent to start, though it is really good. So maybe I would rather have Behold, but I haven't gotten to play the Feed the Serpent decks as much, and I haven't really committed to a snow deck yet. So maybe we take the Narfi here and see how that goes, because Narfi is certainly quite good. Though I don't love... Oh my gosh, look at that. Starting off Narfi into Poison the Cup. Absolutely fantastic. What else is there? There is Behold the Multiverse, but I'm just easily jamming Poison the Cup in here. And then in this pack, and then after that I would have taken the Behold. I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. My screen turned on nightlight mode, and I was just, in my head, I was running through all the options of whether or not it would cause the, whether or not that would cause the stream to crash. Not to crash, but whether it would affect the video, but I don't know if it does. I guess I'll find out. And I can always change it after the draft portion. So if your screen got tinted, you're welcome. Sorry about that, but no analysis for that little second because I was distracted. But yeah, in this pack, Bounding Gold is a pretty good card. It doesn't really let me splash Narfi, though. There's also Raise the Dragger, Death Knell Berserker as some 2-drops, not really as much snow cards. Skull Raid could be the perfect card for a more controlling black deck. Raise the Dragger also kind of fits that camp. And then Squash, Glittering Frost. I think I could take Skull Raid or Raise the Dragger. I do have a pretty powerful card in Narfi, and there's nothing that's too powerful to kind of push me off of it. And yeah, I guess I'll take Raise the Dragger. Could be quite nice. Whew. Following that up, there's a Snow-Covered Forest. There's also a Grim Draugr, which is both a zombie and a berserker, but it still only gets 1/1/1/1. Here we're seeing a Frenzied Raider. And then there's an Icehide Troll. I considered taking the Glittering Frost and then playing like blue-black snow and splashing Narfi. Maybe I was supposed to do that. I think this card's certainly better than Grim Draugr. The question is how much better. I'm just going to take the Grim Draugr. And now there's a Snow-Covered Island. We'll take that over the Elderfang Disciple. This is a pretty reasonable card, though. Coma's Faithful can mill over the Narfi, which is nice. The draft gets a lot less interesting when we kind of try to get ourselves into a heavy snow deck. Especially because it's not necessarily going to even involve green. And now there's a Way Down. Way Down would work well with if I got another one of those 3/1s, so maybe I'll wheel one of the 3/1s. But black has at least seemed open. Maybe blue hasn't been a good complement color for it. There's been some red cards, but Narfi's a really good payoff. And we might get rewarded pack 2 for our ambition. Another Snow Island. With Narfi, you really can't have too many islands. I mean, snowlands in your deck. Because it's hard to activate Narfi, but he just wins you the game if he does. I'm hoping to get some of those 3/1s. I forgot how good they are with the Narfi. I forget what I took over it, though. Death Knell can be good in the right spot. Bind the Monster's okay. So we're seeing some blue, which is nice. but it's certainly not like the widest open. Black has been pretty open though, which is good. Bergstrider's another snow creature, just what you want to see here. White has looked decently open too, seeing Kaya's Onslaught really late here. But Bergstrider's great. We already have a couple snow islands. We got Raise the Draugr. Is snow a card? I don't think snow is a card you can choose. Share a creature type. I think snow might be a creature type. I'll have to look that up after, and I'll get back to you. But I know that this is a wizard, this is a wizard, so if I couldn't bring Narfi back anyway, I get to do that. And this is where we get to see if the Snowland wheeled. It did not. Someone took Snow Swamp. We'll get a Saw It coming, though. There's also... yeah, I think we want to play blue, and just getting more playables is nice. One thing about staying flexible is, like, at a certain point, it's not really worth it, because we already have, like, Bergstrider and 2 Snowlands. We're going to be okay on blue cards. We already have Narfi. And we can just rely on black being open because we've taken a lot of good black cards, and you don't need all that many blue cards. And we do have a Poison the Cup, which is a nice little blue card. Ooh, Pilfering Hawk, that's another snow card. One thing I don't love doing is I don't love splashing unnecessarily. Some people just really like to, they'll just splash kind of anything, it feels like. But splashing is a major cost, and it does hurt your win percentage, even if it might not always look it. Deathnell Berserker versus Run Ashore. This isn't a Run Ashore deck. You want to be more aggressive for Run Ashore. And my deck's going to rely on kind of grinding people out, hopefully, with like a Narfi that keeps coming back. Hopefully I can get some card draw, but Deathnell Berserker is an okay 2-drop sometimes. And I might just need it to make sure I hit playables. And we get a Run Ashore anyway. Multiple Run Ashores. It's not unplayable. I could play one copy of Run Ashore and be okay with it. Okay, pack 2. What do we have here? Well, we have Augury Raven as just a generically good card. We have Replicating Ring to get another snow card. Snow mana. But I don't love Replicating Ring if I'm not planning on splashing, and I don't really have a plan to splash right now. So I think right now I could take Augury Raven. It's just a fine card, and then I can pick up a either Priest or Pilfering Hawk on the wheel. Now this is a card that's worth splashing. Binding of the Old Gods. Because it's just really powerful. However, it is in the same pack as a Feed the Serpent. And so it's between splashing Binding or playing Feed the Serpent. They do similar things, usually going to destroy a creature. This one does also get you a Snowland afterwards if you have a Snow Forest, which I could probably get one. But I'm just going to take the more conservative pick, Feed the Serpent. And now in this pack there's a Bergstrider, there's a Giant's Amulet. Skull Raid's decent. There's a Vega. We have 1, 2, 3 cards right now that work well with that. We also have a couple of 5s. I don't think I want to take a second Bergstrider here. I'm just going to take Giant's Amulet. It's a fine defensive tool. And my deck is mostly going to be relatively defensive and try to grind the game out. Though I will need some Skull Raids to help me do that. Or Beholds if I'm lucky. Power 4 or greater. Interesting. I could just take a 6-mana 3/7. It holds the ground down really well. I don't know how open my deck is from this direction, but Snow-Covered Swamp is a great addition. Way down would be fine, but I already have one, and I'm not going to have that many creatures to get rid of. Dreadrider's a card I'm hoping not to play, but I have it in for now. Not great in my deck. Bergstrider's going to be good, though. I think the other Pilfering Hawk should wheel. There's a Raven form. We don't really have ways to deal with the 1/1 flyer. I guess we have a Pilfering Hawk. We could play one Raven form. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Now there's a Carfill Harbinger. There's a second Raise the Draugr. Our creatures don't share all that many types unless Snow is a type. I guess we have a couple wizards. I could just take Harbinger. My 2-drop slot is a little bit lacking right now. I do have some Foretell cards, but I think this will be a fine card to add. It's also a zombie, so it'll get buffed by Narfi. Replicating Ring Wield. That could be a good sign. Helps me get more snow mana. Helps me ramp up to my expensive cards. I think we would rather have that than a second Pilfering Hawk. We can maybe get a Pilfering Hawk later. Eyesight Troll, we're not going to have enough snow cards for that. So let's just take a Carfell Harbinger over Miss Sivlet Yara. Another Bergstrider. It's really coming together here now. We have a lot of 5-drops. This is a 5-drop too. So Replicating Ring's actually really good in this spot. Gives us a 4th snow mana. We're probably not going to play this Dread Rider. I would bet pretty strongly that we don't. So this is an Elf Berserker, so it's not a snow or a zombie creature. Whereas this is both. We have a lot of playables here. Miss Sivlet Yara can be playable. It's not super powerful though, so I'd hope not to play it. We probably just take snow lands over most cards here, just because snow islands and swamps are going to be relatively rare. You expect like 2 to be opened in the course of a pack. I wouldn't mind the 3-drop that mills me, because I do have a Narfi to get back and Raise the Draugr. Narfi's also fine, just buffing all my creatures. I think if I had 2 more snow lands, I'd be pretty happy. But, and also I need some card draw. So far I just have the Raise the Draugr, which isn't great. I do have a lot of wizards though, so. Got 3 wizards there. This is a wizard, this is wizards. I'll have to double check the Raise the Draugr thing after the draft. My knowledge of the cards is not 100%. My knowledge of the rules is not 100%, which may tell you something about how complex the game is. Aspect Code spell's a little bit wild. So first things I checked was the land. The land doesn't do much for me. Avalanche Caller, however, is quite nice. If I'm making a snow land a 4/4, that's pretty good. Rune of Flight can be good for winning the game too, but I like this guy a little bit better. So Raise the Draugr that we might wheel. We might wheel the Bind the Monster, though that's unlikely. Elderfang could wheel. Rune of Flight sometimes wheels, I think. I'm not sure. Probably not. Probably not going to get anything back from this pack, but it's nice to have another snow payoff. My 3 snow lands and snow plains. Okay. Port of Carfell is nice. Gives me something to do with my mana. And mills me, so maybe I'll mill over Narfi. Skull Raid, Bind the Monster. I wouldn't mind a Skull Raid in this deck, but I'm just going to take the land. It's just super good to have a land that helps you out like this. And if you look at my deck, I have 3 snow lands there, and then I have a couple cards that I could play. I could play a Mist if I needed to. I could play a Run Ashore. I could play Death Knell Berserker. But I'm probably going to be able to make playables with cards I'm happy putting in my deck. Check the land. The land is missing. So someone's probably taking the Snow Swamps. But that's okay. We get to take a Feed the Serpent here. Just another good removal spell. There's also a Vengeful Reaper, which is a pretty solid card, but I just like having access to the removal. And I already have quite a few top-end cards that I can try to win with. I guess Raven Form's not a card I'm happy playing. So we'll just put it in the sideboard for now, especially now that we're getting a 3rd good removal spell. This card also helps my mana because I have kind of doubles on both colors, which is a little bit awkward. This card would work well in my deck, I think. Gives me some life gain. Maybe I can get back a Raise the Draugr. I would like some pure card draw like Beholds, but sometimes you don't get those. Not everything works perfectly. Well, speaking of card draw, Frost Augur is a card that I don't love. Even in my deck, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards, and I still don't really want to put Frost Augur in my deck. I will say that Glimpse the Cosmos is probably going to be my pick. I said I needed more card draw, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. I've got 3 giants at the top end, 4 giants if you count that guy. And this just gives me nice card selection and card draw. I have good removal, so I don't need bind. I've got 4 removal spells here, which is an insane number, but it's still decent. I would probably take Augury Raven next out of this pack. Skull Raid, again, I kind of want access to it, but... Okay, and now... I think I just take another Bergstrider over the Raise the Draugr. I doubt we're going to get another snowland, so Narfi is going to mostly just be a buff for our creatures, but we can just swing through with our 5/5s once they're buffed by Narfi. Okay, this pack there is another replicating ring, which is another snow mana, and it ramps me towards my expensive cards. It's also Mistwalker, Grimdrauger. I don't think I can play a second way down. Mistwalker is decent. I could also take this. I'm going to take Replicating Ring. Yeah, I think it's useful for me. Turgrid's Shadow can be really nice. One thing I will say about Replicating Ring is it's not as good when you don't have the card draw to make up for it. So I might have to shave on lands and go down by a land because I'm playing the Replicating Rings, but they give me more snow mana to cast my cards reliably, which is important. Because if you play Bergstrider and it doesn't tap something, it's not great. This is a really nice addition to the deck. Another Raise the Dragger. I could probably splash something like a Frostbite if I really wanted to, but I don't really see the point right now. I have plenty of cards, and Raise the Dragger is a nice addition, especially if it ends up being true that it can get snow cards. Elderfang Disciple, maybe. I could take another Raise the Dragger. That's probably okay. Maybe I just go all out on Raise the Draggers. Wow, Skull Raid is perfect. This is exactly what my deck wanted. Okay, and now if Koma's Faithful, perfect. I don't think I want this Frostpeak Yeti or fourth Raise Dragger, but this card really fuels my Raise Draggers. Oh yes, getting those Skull Raids is so huge for my deck. I'm not really a Funeral Longboat deck. I don't have enough creatures. Not really a Death Knell Berserker deck either. I already have one that I'm not playing. Well, now we can do more reasonable things. Wow, lots of Raise the Draggers. People probably were like, okay, I have my one. I don't need a second one. I don't think I need 3. So, this is a 5-drop. This is like going to be cast on turn 4 a lot of the time. And I can mill my Glimpse the Cosmos. Okay. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9, 16, 17. And I can probably shave a land. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9 blue sources, 8 black sources. Let's just double check this real quick. But it'll depend on what I do. So I'm going to assume that I have to make 2 cuts here, and then I'll cut 1 land. Saw It Coming doesn't really work in my deck because I don't have another instance to hold up. So I'd much rather just not have to worry about it. I guess I have this to hold up, but I'm just going to cut Saw It Coming. It's a little bit clunky in my deck. I could cut a Harbinger. It lets me cast turn 3 Skull Raids. I like the Pilfering Hawk in this deck. The Grim Draugr is a card that I could cut. It's kind of more of an aggressive card. It's not super powerful. When you're trying to make cuts, just consider power level a lot of the time. It will steer you well. So, 2 copies of Raise the Draugr is ambitious maybe, but I have a lot of wizards. And just being able to get back the wizards over and over could be really good. Maybe I do want more removal. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 5 removal spells. I got some good self-mill going on, especially with this Port of Carful as well. I don't think I want a Dread Rider. So this would be my deck, and that would be cutting a... I have a lot of double black cards, so cutting more swamp seems risky. So I would just probably go like this and go 8/8. So 8/8. I have my 2 replicating rings to help with my mana. I have some Skull Raids. I like these because they help me double foretell, which I do have a decent number of foretell cards. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess 4 foretell cards. So maybe the Carfell Harbingers aren't great in this deck. They're the sort of card where if you don't want one, you probably don't want the second one. They are wizards. And they can help me cast my other cards. Otherwise, they're not super powerful. So maybe I'd rather just have Mist of Lityara than them. But Mist is so bad with Tergrid Shadow, I'm not going to put that combo in my deck. So is Raven Form, so I'm not going to put any of those three in my deck. I guess I could play a Run Ashore. It does work well with Skull Raid, I guess. I could just play a Snow Guy, but I don't think I want to. So I'm just going to play those probably. Make sure I don't die early. I don't have any ways to buff this, or I might consider playing that. I could play a one Run Ashore and one Karfel Harbinger. Yeah, let's try that. We'll see how this does in more controlling decks. I'm sure there'll be opportunities to use it for some nice sweet advantage. We do have some nice ramp here. Maybe I'd rather play Saw It Coming than the Harbinger. I'm not really a Harbinger deck, per se. Though going Harbinger into Replicating Ring, I just don't see myself tapping my mana to cast Harbinger all that much. I think I'm going to be playing Replicating Ring into Berg Strider a lot. I could see myself getting run over a lot in the early game. Yeah, I'll play one Harbinger. Probably just play both. Okay, we're going to run it like this, and we'll see how it does. Before I get to the matches, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support me over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, especially those who support me at the credits level. Your support helps me continue producing high quality videos on a consistent basis, so I really do appreciate everyone who pledges even a single dollar each month. Patrons at any level gain access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet for Kaldheim, so that's a nice little bonus if you do choose to become a patron. Without further ado though, let's get to the matches. Welcome to round 1. After some research, I've learned that Raise the Draugr does not count snow, so keep that in mind. Double Karfel Harbinger. Would I rather have just one in this deck? I guess we'll find out. I'm fine just curving out a little bit. It does tie together my wizards for my Raise the Draugrs nicely. Drawing my Coma's Faithful, maybe not ideal. I mean drawing my Glimpse to Cosmos, I'd rather mill it, but obviously I only have a little bit of self-mill. The mill does work well with the Raised Draugr, so having a second one of these would have been maybe nice. But I do have this one Snow Island in case I draw my Avalanche Bringer or whatever he's called. Oh, they're foretelling. Nice, nice. They can still cast Behold or something on my turn if they want. Oh, they're double foretelling. Okay. Well, that's good. I could play this plus the Collar. I kind of like getting the Collar into play. I also kind of like using him as a surprise to give my Snowland haste and hit them for 4 out of nowhere. So if I play this and I draw one more land, I can do that. I think we're casting this turn no matter what, so we'll do this first. Berg Strider, probably the pick. Or Snow Swamp. I'm gonna take Snow Swamp. Oh, I only had one blue. Why did it tap both my blue to cast Glimpse? Oh, I guess because I only had one swamp at that point. My bad, folks. I have my the nightlight thing on to help me my eyes adjust to help me sleep better. And it makes the cards all look kind of similar, so I didn't know that I did that. My bad. I should have a Karfel Harbinger in play. Shrug. It'll happen. It happens to everybody. kind of want the Coma's Faithful to die. Ego defies destiny. Okay. Okay, I see what you're doing there. Okay. It's actually a pretty big deal because I could have foretold this. But, you know, they're going to trade here, hopefully. Yay! Okay, I've got one wizard in there now. I did mill some good cards. I milled 3 spells, which isn't ideal. Sure. This is naming blue. Therefore telling another card. Sure. Narfi is good. I think I want to go this plus play another Carful Harbinger and then Skull Raid. They aren't going to be able to get a card back from this Nico Defies Destiny, potentially. I did that so badly, now they can get back a Foretell card. Oops. I need to think about that an extra second. But to be honest, if it was an instant, they were going to cast it on their upkeep anyway. So it's still fine, probably. And they've probably foretold most of the cards they have to foretell. Oh. I'm actually going to pass the turn without doing anything. Because I don't want to, I don't want to get wrecked by them having one of the skull cards. Because I could discard these two. I want to keep this Raise the Draugr. Sure. Okay, so they've hit their 5th land. Is this no land, a snow creature? That's what we're going to find out, I guess. I'll block with my Harbinger. If they kill my Narfi, I'm okay with that because I can bring my Narfi back at a later time. That's also fine with me. That card's just sizable. now I have 2 wizards I could get back. Easy play. This is like a 5/5 that taps something, and I can tap this and make a big attack. Or at least attack with my Narfi. And I can then play this later. Nice. Maybe I'm playing around Skull Raid is a little bit too playing scared.
Maybe this is the deal 5 foretell spell. I should have thought about that before I made the attack. Because I haven't given them a chance to use that, really. What do I think it is? It could be the foretell spell. That doesn't say anything. Foretold spell. What do I think the foretold spell is? It's not card draw, or they would have cast it there. It's not a removal spell, or they probably would have cast that on my 5/5. It's not a counter spell, or they probably would have countered the 5/5. So what is it?
Ooh, view battlefield. I don't think I want the amulet. Way down. Way down can kill one of their creatures for cheap here. I don't think I want Port of Carful either. I'm just gonna take way down. Then I can kill this with it. Exiling Coma's Faithful. They're probably holding a land in their hand. I'm not going to animate the land when they have so much mana up and like 2 foretold cards, because I really want to be able to have the threat of Narfi. They might have another copy of the 3/2. I considered killing this card. That probably would have been way better, because then I had lethal on board. Why didn't I think of that before? That was bad. I'm sure somebody saw that play. Yeah, I thought about killing this, and then I was like, this card's actually way more relevant. This card doesn't do much. And I figured they have something here. But it's nice to put the pressure on them to like cast whatever they have. Oh. Oh, so it would have backfired. Yeah. Okay, so now I've got an easy line here. I'm going to play my Skull Raid face down. Actually, maybe this is better. Yeah, this is better. I can play my Harbinger. And then I'm going to raise the Draugr, naming Wizard. Get back my Bergstrider or my Avalanche Caller. And then depending on what I need to do, I can either tap or do better. But adding another creature is better than potentially getting rid of some cards, I think, here. What is this card? Maybe I should have been able to calculate that that's what they had. Sure. That's not going to save them. My Bergstrider. Were they just dead anyway? Yeah, because they had 1 creature. Maybe if this was the bounce spell, it would have mattered. Got the win. Do we get to see what it was? No, I guess because in real life you have to show them what it was. Whoops. Dang it, I clicked through. Raise the Draugr looked pretty good there. The only self-mill I have is Port of Carful and the 3/1, but the 3/1's quite good for that reason, and Port of Carful's pretty good. And my deck does want to be grindy, so I think 2 of them is fine, even though it doesn't work with snow. And I have Pilfering Hawk to maybe fill my graveyard, so that's 3. 3 little cards that synergize with it. I think Pilfering Hawk's pretty good in my deck. Dangletron. And the ring is also pretty good too. If I'd gotten the rings earlier, I might have splashed more ambitiously. Ooh, nice hand. I don't have any snow lands, but I can maybe find one off of Glimpse the Cosmos. Cosmos. There's one. Ooh, there's a ring. I gotta just take another Berg Strider, though. I don't have anything to do for a couple turns, and ring would have given me something to do on turn 3. Well, there's an easy swamp pitch. Actually, easy island. This takes double black. Yeah, I'll get rid of an island. I already have 2 blue. Pilfering Hawk was a good draw. Gives me something to do next turn. I can dig for another land. I have a lot of cards I could draw that would help me do something, and I only take 1 extra damage. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the Giant Amulet. Then I'm just going to start jamming Berg Striders. We're jamming Berg Striders! Let's go! It's a Berg Strider world, I'm just living in it. Oh, this card's terrifying. I am not going to be able to beat this card if they just start activating it a bunch of times. Sure. They can spend 4 to untap that. But 2 is less than 3, and this way this is tapped naturally. Dang, them having a removal spell for my guy was real bad. I'm probably going to discard Replicating Ring this time. Sure, sure. Yikes. That doesn't help me. This could help me though. This card's just a busted rare. If they didn't have this, I think I could have won. But Turgid's Lantern is just so hard to beat for any deck that's mildly slow. So I can discard my Coma's Faithful. If they attack too aggressively, I can kill them on the turn back, crackback. This costs 70, use 4, 5, 6, 7. Narfi with his pump ability really making this a relevant card, which is huge. Okay. So I take 3. I'm at... Gives me another attacker. So they're going to go to 9. They're going to make me discard Augury Raven. I can attack with everything. They can block 5. They take 4. So yeah. 4, 9. I think they're dead. Potentially. Oh, that's a bummer. It's a bummer. So maybe I have to top deck something. Then being able to get this back means I won't have Augury Raven. Oh, that's a draw. That is a draw. So they're tapped out. I kill Starnheim Courser. They jump once. Oh my gosh, we got there. We somehow beat the Lantern. What a comeback. What a comeback. Oh my gosh. It felt like a comeback at least. Our deck is so good. Berg Striders were just massive creatures. Narfi was incredible. He didn't even need to come back. He just buffed all of our creatures. Really good. Really good. Wow, that was impressive. Impressive stuff. That Turgrid's Lantern card is really good. If my opponent had just kept activating that, I think they might have been able to get there. I'm not sure, though. The Berg Striders were massive there. Anything we want to change about our deck? I mean, also, that 1/2 little bird was also great. Pilfering Hawk doing clutch work. Saw it coming. I'm not going to play that, I don't think. My deck has got good top end, but it doesn't really have good cheap stuff necessarily. How has Karfil Harbinger felt? It hasn't felt great, to be quite honest. I kind of want to cut it for a Grim Draugr. Like, my deck has plenty to do on turn 2. Or maybe even for Runaground. I'm going to try Grim Draugr. It just strikes me as kind of not a powerful card. Maybe I want to try 1 Runaground. We'll see how that goes. But I need the 1/3. I'm just going to keep it that way. And then when I draw one, I'll think about whether it would be better as a Runaground. Tough, tough, tough. Pokoko. And I guess they will... I haven't played against a really aggro matchup, and that's where they really thrive. Okay, this is a keepable hand. This is going to be basically a Mind Rot. Play the snow-covered lands first. Just in case I have to discard for some reason. Sure. This Replicating Ring is going to do major work here. I don't even really want to cast this until they only have a couple cards in hand. So now I can go Replicating Ring into Berg Strider into Narfi. I will say this hand is also a lot worse on the draw. Oh my gosh. I can just hard cast this. I couldn't cast it if I didn't play the Replicating Ring, so... foretelling it doesn't really do much. If they attack and use Horizon Seeker, I can just wipe their board. Hopefully. Nice. Please don't have another card, or just foretell something. Yes. Come to Papa. I don't want to give them any options. Say hello to my little friend, Turgid's Shadow. Let's go. Them getting an extra card off this Horizon Seeker is a little bit worse for my Skull Raid, but especially because it gets their splash. I guess we'll get to see Feed the Serpent in action. Horizon Seeker, sure. The Replicating Ring could actually really go off here. They have black mana, which makes me want to hold this land. My curve doesn't go past 5, so it shouldn't matter all that much. I play around Skull Raid a lot. I don't think it's generally going to be correct, but they're a black deck, and they look like they're grindy, so it could work out that work really well. Three. 100% to cast this turn. Take out their last 2 cards. What was this? King Narfi's Betrayal. Nice. Okay. We're holding down the fort. They can attack with this, but we'll get the block. Sure. We're going to wait for them to equip first. We're going to wait for them to go to combat now. See, that's how you make sure they don't get to attack you. If they double block, we're okay with that, I think. They'll have a creature that's actually relatively sizable. But we kill 2 of their things? I don't know. And this way, I mean, they're going to be hitting us anyway. And dealing with 1 creature is a lot easier with our Feed the Serpent. They can spend all their mana equipping this. They'll make it into a 4/4. 4/4 flyer. Replicating Ring also gives us all the snowman and we'll ever need to stop Narfi. I mean, bring back Narfi. We've got our 2 lands for insurance. We're hitting them for massive amounts of damage every turn. They're just dead on board. So we can hold Feed the Serpent. Sure. They block there, they die. They block there, they die. And Feed the Serpent, doing what you expect it to do. Narfi taking 1 for the team. He was going to come back thanks to the Replicating Ring. It's like Narfi's ring. Wow, the deck really performing. See, I think our deck would be nicer if we had a couple more snowlands, but it's also nice just to be a 2-color deck. It makes casting Feed the Serpent a lot easier. And I think that a lot of people would have tried to splash green, or maybe just switch to like black, green, and splash blue, but you don't really need to. I think this deck is kind of showing that. I mean, sure, it's a little results-oriented, but the matches have felt like very winnable. They've been close, but our mana has just really been pretty solid the entire time. And you do lose a lot of games when your mana just sucks and you can't cast your spells, or you have to mulligan, or your lands come in tapped and hose you. I don't know. Sure, an Ice Tunnel would be good in this deck, but we didn't see one. This is keepable. Coma's Faithful, the little combo there. Maybe I only would want 1 Rise the Draugr in an ideal world, but I do need grindy tools. This is easy candidate for discard if they play Elderfang Disciple, because it's going to be so long before it does anything. Or I discard Bergstrider. I like that better now. Because I can then get back Bergstrider and something else. Yeah, that's much better. Good thinking, Nikolai. Because Coma's Faithful is probably going to mill another wizard. Sure. I'm going to get... I have Swamp, Island. I'm going to get rid of a Island. And then I can trade there. If they go land spell here, we can take out their last 2 cards, which is nice. Oh, they get to foretell their spells. At least we get to take out one of their spells, hopefully. There's the Harbinger coming in handy. We're going to start with this, because we could easily hit... If we draw a land, we'll want to play that and use our Raise the Draugr. Sure. I'm looking for a land. It saddens me to lose a Poison the Cup, but it must be done. And then I can get my 3/3 down and just brick wall their whole army. Getting a Giant Amulet down would be nice too. I don't have 2 Snow Islands though. Oh, I messed up. I should have waited for them to go for something there. Because then they might have pumped more mana into it. That was a mistake. Oh, they're not going for that this time. Well, I guess they must have drawn a land then. Furia. Okay, yes, perfect. Right on time, Island. And then we can hopefully find another removal spell off of our Glimpse the Cosmos. I don't have either of my Feed the Swarms left, which means that I don't have very many removal options for it. Start things off with this. We'll develop our mana, get this thing ticking. We now have 3 Snowlands for if we do draw Narfi. If this thing dies, we're in pretty grim shape. 3. If this dies, we would take 6. If they kill this, though, I'm still taking 3. I take 1 extra right now. So maybe they have foretell. Yeah. That's how it goes sometimes. I can, if I draw a land, I can raise the Draugr both my Burg Striders, which could be exactly what I need. I could also Giant's Amulet and put it on Augury Raven. I don't have to make the Giant off of it. Here he comes, Dream Devourer. Super irritating. I think I want to weigh down, but I don't want to do it right now. I think I want to kill something meaningful with it. But this doesn't do anything against the giant. The ground is basically stable now. So weigh down can be used. Do I have any extra ping things to combo? And I think I want to put this Giant's Amulet onto this when I get the chance. Oh, that's no bueno. Of course they have this card. Turgid's Lantern is unbeatable. Why wouldn't they have Turgid's Lantern? Gosh darn it. So this thing cost them a creature. If only this thing had already replicated, I'd be chilling. Okay. Gotta pressure him. I'm gonna sack the Giant's Amulet next. Replicating Ring is sure to go at some point as well. But for now I can discard the Harbinger. This is on Story Seeker. I'm certainly killing the Infernal Pet. If I kill this, they don't gain any life and their Ascent does nothing. Will it be enough? Racing Turgid's Lantern is always a challenge. We get to bring back probably Battershield Warrior as their best card, or they could bring back Elderfang Disciple if they're feeling really spicy. Cool, it has a flying counter. They brought that back from Ikoria. Probably gonna get the... yeah. Battershield. Oh, that's an ouch. That is a ouchie. If I top deck Narfi right here... I might dead to a flying attack anyway, too. So this is 3... 4, yeah, I'm just gonna lose 3 life. They have 7, they can just pump it, yeah. Oh man, if we top deck the Berg Strider, could we have done it? Yikes, they got there barely, I think. They needed that Elderfang Disciple. If I had top decked a land, I could have... If I had just top decked the Berg Strider, I could have tapped the Shepherd of the Cosmos. Tapped the Shepherd, attacked with everything. They would have... I think I needed some help there. That was a close one, though. Weirdly, it was very close considering that they had that Lantern again, which is just such a beating of a card. They had that Shepherd of the Cosmos, too. If they hadn't had Shepherd, it would have been a big difference, too, because it brought 2 creatures into play. That whole game felt like I was a little bit behind. I don't know, that Devourer just kept on foretelling things. I think they also kind of had a good amount of lands. They had like 4 lands, so they had a lot of spells in action to go for. This is a very keepable hand on the draw. The Replicating Ring once again going to do work. If only we could have gotten 8 counters on this, then we wouldn't have cared about the thing. We just sacrifice a Replicating Ring thing every time. But obviously getting to 8 counters is an absurd thing to expect in any individual game. Opponent is Suborg. I have no idea if we played the same person multiple times. I don't usually look at the username at all. Like, I think I give it a cursory glance, but I don't do enough to memorize it. So we could have played the same person twice or 3 times in a row, and I wouldn't know. But I think the decks were different, so we're going to keep this. We also have the Comus Faithful plus Raise the Dragger combo. And Berg Strider, which is one of our best cards to get back. I know that it irritates people to do that. Okay, as I said, always start with the snow lands in case you ever have to discard a land. It just makes it easier. Skull Raids could be good. I do want to draw a land. I do want to draw a land. I do want to draw a land. Please. Please, magic gods, give me this land, which I seek so desperately. Skull Raid's probably good against blue-green. If we draw another land here, I think I'm just going to play Coma's Faithful instead of the Ring, because then I could go land into Foretell this card. Also, it lets me like start attacking into that. This way I get to use the Ring mana next turn immediately, so I'm more mana efficient. Oh, mana efficiency. And I get to start gaining life to counteract the Augury Raven. So they're just playing 3 colors casually. I wonder what they're splashing. Oop, foretelling something else. Nice, nice. We will attack as soon as possible. No! Be able to keep this thing tapped with my Bergstriders. I never know whether to refer to it as our Bergstrider or my Bergstrider, because you're kind of playing through me. Through me, I show you the world. I will show you the world. I see glittering splendor. I think this should be good. Just knock out their last couple cards. Okay. Do I just go for it immediately? Leave them with one card? I think so, because I want to be casting these Bergstriders. Got him. They could have swapped Mists for one of my enchantments if I had any. This card's irritating. I can chump there. And the next turn I'll be able to double block the Outrider. And this, I also have Raise the Dragger up, so I can, if I do get lucky and flip 3 cards that include 2 giants, we know what's happening then. The Bergs are coming. Bergstrider. I sometimes just like think of songs and then see if it'll work with whatever I'm thinking in my head. Precious, all my snow mana lets me cast my Bergstrider. My snow mana. Oh my gosh, 2 wizards. Let's go. Cooking up with fire here. My Bergstrider. Da 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 da. Bergstrider. Da da da. I'll bring back my wizards. Thank you very much. Even though one of them is just a 1/3, does help me block that. Well, that was very good. Why didn't I hit them for 4? Silly Nikolai. Tricks are for kids. That could be relevant. I drew a good card, so therefore I wanted to cast it. I feel pretty silly. Sorry, chat. I make mistakes. I'm only human. Am I a human? Or am I a Bergstrider? I guess only time will tell. 5, 6, 7. So this is 7, right? Yeah. I always count the tap ability of it because you need that land to work. So I can get back a Bergstrider, which is just a 4/4, but now that I have 2 Bergstriders coming up, they're just gonna get pummeled. Oh, and I even get to foretell. Oh. It could matter a lot that they are at 19 instead of 15. It could also matter very little. Rootless you. So now we kill this. If they were at 10, 4, 8, 11, 12, yeah, that would be threatening. Lethal next turn. They can also let Yara Mirror Lake to copy their Augury Raven. Or their Rootless you. You rootless. Worthless. You. Ice Tunnel. I wonder why they didn't use this. Regardless. So they would be dead right now. But you know, we're not going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the positives. Which are, we have 3 lethal attackers. And a Porta Carfil to get back our bird if it dies. Boom! Got the win. If they had copied the bird, they'd still be in trouble. Because everyone makes mistakes. We all make mistakes. Our deck is kind of rolling, and I'll see you folks next round. Welcome to the next round. Another hand that's very keepable on the draw. We have this to foretell. Then we can go ring, into ring. Narfi's all of a sudden looking very, very activatable. Indivisible. Indivisible. Come on, Narfi, my old friend. I just need 1 snow land again. Because a Narfi slowly... softly... oh yeah. Looks like there's snowing as well. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. But avalanche is so delightful. Uh-oh. This is one of those games where being on the play would have been very good. As long as you have a place to go. Thank goodness they have no snowlands yet. A land would be nice. I would like to cast Feed the Serpent, but I also want to just develop my mana. And the 3/3 can trade with something. Yep, so basically it was exactly what I did, but I got to get this card into play. And save this. Packmate. Land? Not a land. Bergstrider. Not-Full Slumberbound's looking scary. It costs 7 mana. Oh, so they have a snowland now. Hooray! Well, we can feed the serpent. Killing a lindworm. Do I play Pilfering Hawk or this? Probably this. The Hawk doesn't add any extra blocks to my repertoire. This can be cast next turn. If they play land and activate this, I can even nab their last 2 cards. Oh, Rootless you. Hello, you. So we're gonna hit their last 2 cards. Play this guy. Not great. We're gonna have to take a hit from the Rootless you. Next turn we can play Narfi though. Narfi and Hawk. I'm okay trading for their snowland. It was gonna hit me eventually. So tricky. This rootless U is a problemo. No blocks. This card trades with a lot of their other stuff. Criminy. I'm in good shape, I think. Potentially. Okay. It's 3/3, but it drew them a card. I'm about to have infinite mana, which is interesting. And my Pilfering Hawk could be quite instrumental there. So I tried not to trade off my Pilfering Hawk if I can. I'm about to have like oodles of mana. More mana than I can ever do anything with. So, if I block this way, then they will kill my 4/5, and this thing will live. My Narfi will die, as will my other thing. How can I block for the best situation here? I need a, if I want a Narfi plus this thing, I can go there, and I can go there, and they both die. I'm probably just gonna have to accept that I lose my Hawk, which means that I go there. Is this the best? I'll lose my Hawk, but I kill their giant. Their guy dies there. Oh, they can still kill both. If I block giant plus Hawk on this guy and reverse the other one, I still lose all my guys, but they have a chance of leaving me with the Hawk, which I'd rather have. This way I don't lose everything, I get to at least keep something. But I already got to keep something. This time I keep the Hawk instead of a 4/5 or something. I really do value the Hawk. Maybe too much. Oh, they know that I value the Hawk too. Okay, those were okay mills. Milling the poison thing is kind of bad, but they already got their guy perfect. That's huge for me. That's huge. Bergstrider. Oh no, I can get back 2 birds. That's huge. Sign me up, raise the Draugr. Let's go. Pretty much the best card I could ever have here. I want to be able to bring back Narfi, I think. So I can block there. I take 3, 6, 7. Or I could play this and they take 4. I'm only going to take 6 here. This isn't really a Turgid's Shadow game, I don't think. So I go block, block, take 6, go to 3. It's rough. I could even jump with the Hawk if I really think I need to. They have 1 card. Is it the +4/+4? I doubt it. They would have used it a couple turns ago if they had that. I go to 3. I have enough spells in my hand, I can be fine. If I was at 3, I'd be a lot dicier because of this Avalanche Caller and stuff. Wow, we managed to spend like all that mana. This Pilfering Hawk would have been nice, but I would be at 3 right now. And then I would be dead to a top-decked Snowland. They would be hitting me. They would have 1, 2, 3. Oh, yikes. Warrior, okay. I have another Raise the Draugr somewhere, so I'm going to hold these lands. I'm afraid of a hasty 4/4 is really what it is. This and Narfi. Yeah, I think that worked out. I managed to use Turgid's Shadow after all. Sure. Yes! Whoo! Got the win. That was a sweet one. Man, we flipped 2 replicating rings. We had so much snow mana. That was wild. And we were consistently spending all of our mana too. Wow. It was crazy how good Pilfering Hawk was going to be, and then we still decided to sack it because it would have been too risky to keep it around. Going to 3 would have just been so brutal. 5 wins. Can we keep it up? I think that round really showed how good having the Raise the Draugrs was. They were both very good for us. I didn't even think I was going to be using Bird. Man. Double the rings, double the mana. Oh my gosh. Well, this is a good hand. It does show the choice on the Shimmer scale a lot earlier than you might expect. Okay, and then we can foretell this. It's generally best to use this to take out their last 2 cards. If we... Okay, they're foretelling. We can feed the Serpent on their 4-drop if they have one. Behold, yep. We have some of our own 2-for-1s. A Berg Strider can take things out. Okay, so they got a 2-for-1. We have a 2-for-1 here. Carful Harbinger being useless again. Renegade Shore would almost certainly be better in this matchup. Blue-white. No, it's just 3 colors again. We face so many 3-color decks. It's like people have just... There's always Splash. Sure, Mistwalker. I'll just cast it now. I'm going to be casting Berg Strider soon enough. So I'm not going to have the mana for a little bit to cast this. Oh, they have a Narfi. Well, we'll have to exile that. So I'm glad we have this Feed the Serpent. So they can bring back Narfi. They bring back Narfi, eh? Wow. Well, we lost. That's horrible for us. Wow. Sometimes that happens. It's just the nature of the game, but boy, that felt bad. His thing can kill us next turn. Oh yeah, we're totally dead. Maybe they'll copy Narfi and we'll see what happens then. Nope, they do not copy that. My turn. Bergstrider's good, but not good enough to beat Disdainful Stroke, it would seem. That was unfortunate. Yeah, if we'd been able to kill that Narfi, I think we were in fine shape. It just so happened that Disdainful Stroke owns our deck. A lot of our key cards are expensive. Maybe Disdainful Stroke's better in the format than I initially thought. It looked very good there, but it's probably not as good against the fast matchups. It'll just remains to be seen how fast many of the matchups are, because we've been playing against a lot of slow 3-color decks, which maybe people are just waiting till the aggro decks come along to find out like how to draft those and be effective, because if a lot of people are dirtling, then going over the top of the dirtle train is even better. Okay, this is a great hand again. We never seem to mill Glimpse, but we don't have a ton of mill, so it is monocolored, but we have the replicating ring, so it would also be nice to win a die roll for our deck. Our deck is good on the play because we're kind of slow, and also the Augur guys are, I mean, not the Augurs, the Bergstriders are good when you're beating down a little bit. We're going to play Augury Raven. Next turn we can actually just cast the Augury Raven, and then the next turn we can go Replicating Ring into Poison the Cover Skull Raid face down. They named blue, of course, another 3-color deck. Why would Responsible Mana have anything to do with this game? I'm kidding, of course. Everyone's just going wild. At least they have some fixing. I will say that in the aggregate, these decks do mulligan a lot more. They're also just riskier. Inga Rune Eyes, you don't say. Maybe I can get an ideal Skull Raid off on them. I think I'm supposed to foretell Poison the Cup because I'll only have a single black mana. Jeez. That was an ouch, I'll tell you that much. 'Twas painful. Oh, if I only had a black mana. We have to kill the Turgid Shadow. Will be good at dealing with the giant and whatever they play this turn. But if I do this when they have Inga out, I'll be in trouble. I guess Inga plus one other thing would die, so maybe it's not as bad, but they actually have a reason to be 5-color, sure. And it's even more fixing, so their deck's coming together. Play a creature, buddy. Come on. Come on. Why would a creature be played? That would be too standard. Let's take out their last couple cards here. Yikes. I need them to play a creature. Foretelling is not creature playing. I can just fire this off, I guess. I don't have enough mana to do anything else anyway, though, so might as well just chillax. I can get back my Augury Raven. The real question is, do I take another 4 here? For the upside of them top decking a creature. I think I do. If they do play another creature, they can just equip this, which makes my way down useless anyway. So I just won't have an answer. They could activate this. It's almost like they know I have Turgor's Shadow. They're just going to use Path to the World Tree. Oh, man. I'm honestly not mad about losing. I'm just more mad about just the way the cards have lined up is kind of irritating. And the fact that I played against like a 5-color deck that never seems to stumble on its mana every round is kind of brutal. If they activate this now, I can actually use my way down. No, I can't because I don't have a creature in my graveyard. Uh-oh. Oh well. Whew. Probably should have known that they were just going to activate Path to the World Tree. So, using my Turgor's Shadow to kill their 4 or 5 before that would have been much better. I just totally forgot that that card had an activation, and that because of these cards, they just had all the colors. But yeah, I wasn't going to win this game anyway. Yeah. Oh well. It feels rough because I feel like those decks... Like, that deck looked really good and it had great mana, but I feel like not all of them do. So just sticking to 2 colors is real nice. Like, you get enough playables. You don't need, like, it doesn't up the power of your level of your deck that much. And it just costs you picks in the mid stages. So let's look at some takeaways from the deck. Turgor's Shadow, not particularly good a lot of the time. It did okay sometimes, but it's kind of awkward. Replicating Ring was pretty decent. Good at ramping out my 5-drops, especially because I was running 16 lands to compensate for that. Hawk was really relevant that one game. Glimpse was great. Amulet was pretty great in this deck. I had a lot of 5s. Bergstrider did good work. Skull Raid was good. Honestly, the most impressive card was Disdainful Stroke from my opponents. That card kept hosing me. It was just brutal. So maybe I'll have to main deck a couple of those next time I play a blue deck, because, yeah, it looked very good. Yeah, never be above learning from your opponents. But 5 wins, still an impressive record, especially in Platinum, where the opponents are getting a little bit better. Or, yeah, that means they played a decent amount. So, yeah, the deck looked pretty good. I liked the Coma's Faithful plus Raise the Draugr. Raise the Draugr was actually pretty good for us most of the time. We usually got 2 creatures back, even if we had to wait a little bit. I think 2 was probably the sweet spot for this deck, but you could obviously play more if you get more Coma's Faithfuls. Way Down was okay. Yeah, Narfi, definitely a card that was worth building around. We got owned by our opponent's Narfi. Our Narfi was quite good. It's even good if it's especially good if you're like blue, green, snow, and splashing black for it, because then you have a lot more options on your snow lands. It's probably what I'm learning about snow payoffs is it's usually best to play snow payoffs in a 3-color deck, probably focused in Sultai, because then you can make use of more of the dual lands, more of the basic lands. So I'll keep that in mind next time I'm drafting snow. But overall, pretty cool deck. We had a nice little snow theme. We had some good removal spells, and we got card advantage from maybe unconventional sources in Raise the Dragon and Skull Raid. That is going to do it for this draft video, though. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did make it all the way to the end, leave hashtag double ring, because we did have 2 replicating rings trigger in one game, and then proceeded to use like all of that mana the next turn, which is wild, because we like brought back 2 5-drops with our Raise the Dragon. So pretty wild stuff there. Hashtag double ring to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. Remember to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, click that bell so you get notified when I post future videos, and leave a comment in the comment section down below with questions, feedback, encouragement, kind words, anything that you really want. You can also check out the Twitch stream live at twitch.tv/NicolaiBolas. I was not streaming this one, but I do stream my gameplay, so you can find that there. You can support the channel directly via the Patreon, patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and gain access to my card-by-card grade spreadsheet for Kaldheim, which I do update as I learn more about the cards. The growth in the Patreon has been really awesome this month. It's basically doubled in size, which is really cool and lets me do more cool stuff for all of you folks. You can also support the channel by subscribing to my Twitch channel with Twitch Prime. If you have Amazon Prime, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so you can just link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, or make a Twitch account and link those, and then subscribe to my channel at no extra cost to you. So, because Amazon Prime gives a free subscription every month, so that's pretty cool, and I appreciate everyone who does that. And if you do it, you can do it once every month, because it resets. So that's really cool stuff. You can read my articles. You can join the free NicolaiBolas Discord, linked in the description and pinned comment as well. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.